So if you were coaching one of our listeners right now, a small business leader, and they're not in the live events industry, they're not in the entertainment industry, they can't replicate all of the fun things that we do, both with budget and time and effort and scale and all of that, how can they still use these principles to create those great customer experiences?
A lot of folks come to our events and they see these really big things, or they hear about our Christmas party, which is enormous in scales, and there's 1,000 people, and I can't do that. But things like the spelling bee literally don't cost any money. It's a list of words, and people get up and they spell words. The things like our flip cup, good grief, go to the grocery store, get some red Solo cups, play flip cup, and give somebody a gift card for coffee, and they'll lose their mind. So you create that fun, you create that energy within the team. Then when they interact with customers, I mean, you've got a head start. Versus a team that's showing up that doesn't love being there, doesn't love what they're doing. It's hard for them to then go, we're going to treat our customers amazing when they're not having fun themselves.
Yeah. Well, what all this points to is making these memorable moments and creating these customer experiences and raving fans. It really points back to the culture. Mm-hmm. And it starts with you, it starts with the team, and that then bleeds out to all the fans and the customers so that when they meet one of our team members, they go, oh my gosh, Josh was awesome and Stacy was awesome and everyone treated me so well and it was such an incredible experience. But it starts with those shared experiences where we all go, yeah, this is who we are. These are the values we stand for. And I remember playing Flip Cup with Josh the other day, and we had a great time, and you bond together and create those relationships, and all of that, it matters. And it's hard to pinpoint and put a metric on it and say, well, the spelling bee is really what our culture bar is up 4% today. How do you measure those memorable moments?
Yeah, I think we communicate with the team, so we try to find out what they want. Because our team that loves the spelling bee, and we can talk about this and say, man, it's easy, you need to do it, and you go and do it, and it may just lay an absolute rotten egg and it might be horrible. Flip Cup might be the thing for your team. Your team might be super creative and they want to do these lip sync battles. We did those, and then it got really bad for personal brands. Like, people were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing, lip syncing to songs. We were like, we probably shouldn't do that. So there's ways that you can kind of figure out what's good for your team, and it's going to take some trial and error. But it's important. We get real fancy, and we have analytics, and we survey. And so we know that the Christmas party is a major, huge morale booster for the team. If we took that away, it would be kind of a big deal for the team. If we took our Battle of the Bands away, which again is another huge thing, people would notice. They would also really hate if we took Flip Cup away and if we took Spelling Bee away. Those are again, really easy things, but the team loves them.
Yeah, and a lot of that, we end up going, hey, our team loved this. I bet our clients would too. Mm-hmm. And so we start to emulate that stuff on the outside, and it becomes a really cool experience. And they go, oh, the Ramsey team does that too.
Yep.
That's a cool thing to have that shared value system, which is why I think a lot of listeners listen to this podcast is because they have shared values and they care about the team and they want to have a great culture and they care about hospitality. And so a lot of cool themes in here today, Joe. And as we wrap, we talked about how making these moments, it can be a lot of work. Yeah. And it will be a lot of work. It's going to take some intentionality. And sometimes it takes money and effort and time and all of those things. But what is a simple way that they can implement this stuff? Maybe one idea that they can do this week with their team to start stepping into that.
Yeah, I think, one of the simplest things literally would be going to the grocery store, getting those flip cups, doing that. Even that might feel a little risky for some folks. But you could literally just root around in your desk drawer, find an old stapler, something like this. We have a lot of teams around the company that do things like this. Paint the stapler gold, and now you have the Golden Stapler Award. You just made up an award. Cost you a can of spray paint, probably, and that's about it. And then you just make up what this award's for. Somebody that crushed it that week, somebody that had a great customer interaction, whatever it is. And now you've just created this little bit of team culture, a little bit of fun. It doesn't even have to come with a big prize. A lot of these things, like one team has a Nailed It award. It's a big nail, and it just gets passed around. We have a VIP award on the live events team that was actually an old award that was somebody misspelled a name. So we just kind of put a piece of paper over that just says VIP for live events, and we give that out once a month. And it comes with no prize other than just, hey, we're going to recognize that somebody did something really good this month, and people love to be recognized. Yeah. And so how can you recognize your team? Real simply. And once you start doing that, once you start building that culture of recognition, it's just going to just naturally, I think, flow out to the customers.